It was a late April evening when he found her in the woods, a mile from his cabin. She was laying in the field, one of her 2 huge wings clearly broken. His eyes widened as he approached, seeing how her wings, her entire body, glowed. As he approached, he could hear her mutter in pain in a language that sounded sweet and beautiful, yet was utterly incomprehensible. It took him an hour to get her home. He laid her on the guest bed, stomach down, and did what he could to bandage her many cuts and wounds. Gold yellow liquid, was it blood, seeping out. He was cooking her soup when she awoke the next morning. Smiling with joyful tears falling down, she, in English, and a voice too beautiful to truly comprehend, thanked him. On behalf of heaven, she thanked him. He shrugged. He was only doing what any good Samaritan would have. She didn't leave then. She couldn't. She was too weak. So they bonded. He fed her a fair bit, trying to get her strength up, he had told her, and they talked over his dining table. She learned that he had been out here in the woods for the past 6 years. Society hadn't been good to him. An orphan and vagrant his whole life, he'd grown to despise human society, and society felt the same way toward him. It was all right, he said. He had everything he needed here. Besides, he'd left his old life, that he didn't like talking about, behind, back in the cities. She told him God loved him, that he'd always been loved. He listened, but didn't. He just fed her and nursed her back to health. Eventually, he started to feel things for her. She was truly lovely and truly divine. With her long, slightly curled golden hair and her brightly lit eyes that dripped with love, he almost began to reconsider his plan. Almost. The day she stepped outside, stretching her wings and readying for takeoff, was when he smashed her in the back of the head with a hammer, making her drop like a rag doll. It wasn't difficult cutting her up, really. It was no different from all the people he'd done it to, though he was not disappointed when he bit into the first batch of cooked meat. It was amazing. He'd never thought that this could exist. Human meat was nothing compared to this. Nothing. Hours later, he was finished eating, and a month later he had eaten up all the meat he'd cooked of her. Hanging her wings' bones up on his wall as a trophy, he looked on them with pride. Yes, he'd left his old life behind, but something, Providence, had given him this delightful treat where he could refresh his old activities. For the rest of his life, he never forgot the taste of angel meat.